Hello, 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 fine folks, and welcome to Booghy Plays. I don't know if you can see it on me, but yeah, we were supposed to do a stream tonight, but Mr. Radu bailed on us. Something happened, so we had to postpone that stream. Hopefully, he'll be in chat at some point and animate the discussion. And then when I hello D, hopefully some of you will come by. And then because that didn't happen, I said I haven't done one of these in a while. I haven't gone through uh, what we've been doing and so something. Yeah. So I said it's gonna, if somebody comes, somebody will come. If not, there's gonna be some infos here of yeah, how things were in the last few yeah few months. I want to see where. So the last one that we did, the last one that I did was, whoa, I think it's been a while since I've done it. Um, because with Radu, I have to talk to see. Uh, let's see. The last one was on January 2025. So let's look through some games that we've played since then, and let's talk about some of the games that I enjoy from from January till now. I have not even realized I haven't done a solo thing since January. So let me see. The 15th of January, it seems. So welcome. No, the 3rd of January. Since then, I haven't done none of these. Huh. I've done some with Radu. Yeah, I mean, because we are not able, like I said, we are not able to do the stream tonight because he had some issues, and I said, let's do this. I know it was kind of impromptu. I don't know if you've been seeing, uh, we had some pretty tiring days. So I came home and I laid on bed and I kind of fell asleep. And I'm, let's say, an hour late. But if somebody will come by, I am here. I know it's kind of late, but I'm sorry for that. But if someone comes by, yeah, it's going to be. We're gonna try to keep the some yeah some discussions. If you have some questions about me and so on. Um, until then. I wanted to look through some games that I did during that time since January, and talk a tiny bit about it, and then talk about what we are trying to do. What we preparing for what will have on the channel from now on. So let's make myself small and let's come all the way up here. So um, let's look through. I want to come in here and let's look at. Let's start with. Streams Q&A. Let's do this. So the first stream that we did, it was in. I want to come up here and I want to go to all the live streams that I did. and I want to see them all. I want to see them all. Say hello to anyone who might join me for tonight. So I want to see the lives, all the lives that I did. If starting from January until now. Inventions anticipated. So it starts so from here. Let's. I'll scroll through them rather fast. So we did a three-player Steam Power playthrough. I really like Steam Power, and I hope it will get more traction. I don't think this is the retail version. I don't think it got to the players yet. Um, I'm a big fan of Martin Wallace, and I do think that he deserves, yeah, some more recognition and a tiny bit more attention. I think some of his latest games have not been into the attention of people, but yeah, who knows? Maybe if this one hits the backers and then some more retail, people will be able to play this game some more. So I am quite yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to get the other maps also after they will be delivered, or after it will be delivered, because this is quite a fun game, I would say, and one of its main draw is if you like train games and if you it looks of far more simple than it really is. I'd say, yeah, it's easier than Age of Steam. It's easier than even easier than Railways of the World. But I still think it's a pretty good game, and it has a lot of depth and strategy. Um, I there are some, yeah, something, I don't know. Maybe some maps are better for a certain number of players. But yeah, it's quite a good game, and it looks good, plays well. So yeah, give this one a try. We did 10 anticipated games of 2025, and this is one of the best games that I've played since I am in board gaming, and I think, I don't know, I feel this game does not get its recognition. Bruxelles 1893 is still one of the best games that came out since 2013. I think um, it was I don't think it received the Kennerspiel, but I think it was nominated for Kennerspiel 2012, something like that. It fully deserves it. I have not played with the expansion. I've only played, yeah, we've played only the base game. Um, I highly recommend this game. This is a very very good game, and um, yeah, like I said, I cannot recommend it enough. Uh, and I do hope, I don't know, more people or yeah, more people talk about this one because it's good. Okay, let's go. Canal. This is a newer version of an older game that was first released by Spielworks, which is, I think, is fine, but I preferred faster. I think it's a pretty good game. Um, uh, I think it's better solo. Even solo, it's better than two players. um, because it's quite. I don't like its length. I think it's a bit too long. This is the main thing, but otherwise, I like the everything that you do in the game. Um, the production is pretty good, and it. I think Silex did a good production for this one. I think I like what they did with the artwork. Um, I just I'm a bigger fan of other Uwe games, other Uwe Rosenberg games that are a tiny bit faster than this one for two players or I think I would play it more rather more solo than with two players. But I think it's a solid Uwe, and if you enjoy Uwe games, I think this one is a try. Also, on this, I've heard some complaints about this version, but I am quite fine with it. I like it more than I like the older one. At least the way it looks. I don't know what is about the way it plays. Uh, I'll try to go station to station. I've heard this is a um, this was a bit rushed as far as I've heard about this game. I like it. I think it's a pretty good game for what it is. This is a very light game. I said that it's the ticket to ride, pick up and deliver game. I don't know if it will have I don't know if it's going to have the success of sorry for that Ticket to Ride, but I also know that it has not been pushed by the publisher enough to get much more recognition. It plays well. It's pretty fast. It looks nice. It has nice pieces. I can't. I don't know how expensive, but it shouldn't be very expensive. So it has a lot of good things that works for it. I have some issues with the production and the way they did some things with the production. I think they could have used cubes and some wooden pieces, which have would have been easier to play with. Um, but otherwise, I hope that the publisher pushes this game a tiny bit more because it's a very good gateway plus game that gives you a pick up and deliver game that's very accessible. It's a bit of pick up and deliver and set collection. Yeah, that's why I say it's pick up and deliver ticket to ride pick up and deliver game. Um, so I quite enjoyed it, and I didn't think I would, to be honest with you, when I played it. This is an interview with Luke Laurie. I picked Luke Laurie's brain about game design. I think it's quite fun. One thing. Sorry for that. I sneezed and I didn't want to sneeze on your ears. Um, After I did the interview with Luke Laurie, which I think is fun. I think it warrants some views. We played the Andromeda's Edge, which will have an expansion rather, I think, very soon. I have not. I'll try to get that expansion to do the playthrough with this game. After I've played it, I said the hype is real, and I think the hype is real. The game is fun, is not fast. Having that being that type of uh, hybrid game, hybrid Euro plus dudes on a map, uh, it does have the dead moments of when you start to fight, which yeah cuts into the flow of the game. Um, so yeah, it's a bit it will be a bit on the longer side, but it is quite a fun game. It is exciting to play. It looks good on the table. Uh, I've told you, I've shown you that you can easily change some of the components to make the game even better than it is. And what I have enjoyed a lot about this one is the fact that the base retail version that you see here is a good proposition. It's a very good proposition. I'm sure that all the bling that it is makes it even more interesting. I'm perfectly certain of that. But the I don't know what's the extra cost, but for what it gives you, for what the base gives you, I think the retail gives. I think it gives you a lot. So quite fun. Like I said, the hype is real. This is quite a good game. I said to Radu, I don't want to teach it again, but I would gladly play it if he wants it at some point. Then we did a playthrough for Minos. This was very hyped for Essen, and I was expecting it at Essen also. I am I like usually what the designer of this game does. Um, so what's his name? I'm missing your name. Stan. Stan Kornolski. I like Endless Winter, and I quite like the one about the Russian king, a Russian Tsar. Um, but what I this one was a game about scoring points. This is it is a heavier game, and you have to know how to play your cards, and you have to. It's quite a well designed or a fine designed game. It works well. It's not bad. It's fun to play in a way, but in the end, what I'm doing is I'm trying to score points. I'm not feeling the theme at all. I'm not feeling so. All the development have been done in order to score points, and I'm not I have so my taste changed over the years since I've been in board gaming for I don't know 12 years. I think I would have enjoyed more this game at the beginning of my for its weight for what I do in the game, but now I prefer games that are more thematic than I used to. And this is I rate them higher if the theme comes alive and if in the end I'm not just scoring points. Um, I have I have enjoyed it. I don't think it's bad, but for my tastes, it is a bit too dry. I think this is my main complaint. It's a bit too dry for. I do like the artwork, and I do think it looks good on the table, as you can see it here. But the I'm not a. In the end, this is where it lost me. The fact that everything that I do in the end just ends up scoring me points. And but if you enjoy this kinds of games, this is a very good one. Not for me anymore. In the balance of things, of course. Then we did Beyond Horizon. This is it was one of my surprises of 2024 from SN 2024. Uh, it's a very well done design. It's fun. It's a Tech Tree game. It's not exactly a Civ game, although you do a lot of things in here. Um, but I wouldn't say that um, you'll feel the theme. The theme makes sense in a way, but I cannot say that. Oh yes, I'm feeling that theme. It makes sense in a way. What you're doing, somehow you're developing, and so on and so forth. But it's such a good mechanical game. It's a midweight. I think it doesn't overstay its welcome, and I do like it enters that. that type of game that it is about in the end scoring points, that is not too long, and it feels very satisfying to play. um, and like I said, the theme and setting is works. It, it's it works um, enough to make me enjoy it. But I have enjoyed it a lot for its mechanisms and the way they are all tied in, and the way that all these mechanisms work together. And I like how everything develops here. I like how everything develops on this map. I think it works so well with two players. This is in a way, I feel it's a sleeper from 2024. People are sleeping on this one. They do not talk about it at all. And but or let's say beyond the horizon is it it's much more talked about than this one. I have not played the other one, but this one, I give it high marks. I like it a lot, and this one stays in my collection. It's one of those that will not end up out of the collection. When I say collection, it's what you see in these. And I'm not keeping a lot of games in my collection these days. Most of them end up in the attic somewhere, and yeah, going to the library or somewhere else. Um, After that, so Doggerland. Um, this was also a surprise because I did not expect um, it to be so thematic. I've heard some things about it. I've heard talking with the guys from Super Meeple, or from don't know I don't know if they're from Super Meeple. From I think they represented Super Meeple also. When they were talking about this game, and they said, "Yeah, it's a heavier game, but it makes sense." And yes, it does make sense. Um, and I've heard, like I said, there is the biggest channel that we know, one of the biggest channels that we know, made a, and it says that this game has bloat. This game has absolutely no bloat. Everything that you do makes sense, and in the everything that you do makes sense. And they've made it a heavier game, yes. And if you don't enjoy heavy games, that doesn't mean that it has bloat. I think it's very good, but I do think it might become stale after a while, because I do think this game needs an event system that changes the predictability of the game in a way. I think this is where it misses the mark to be a great game, a special game. I think it will become stale after you play it for I don't know, 10 20 plays, and then I don't think you'd want to go back to it, because it doesn't, having a cool event, a smart design event system would make it fresh every time, and every game will be fresh. uh, for replayability wise, only these practically the replayability comes in these, and what you do in the paintings. This is the main replayability of the because the tiles are more or less the same that come out. They'll come out of course in different in a different spot, but still they're kind of the same tiles. So yeah, um, an excellent game. I liked it, how thematic it is, and yeah, it does not. I do not feel that I'm just. I feel a little bit. I'm making my family bigger. It makes for a more interesting experience than just scoring points. Doggerland. I did another interview with Victor Peter from Mind Clash Games. Um, if you like Mind Clash, if you like what they do, again, I picked his brain about the game design. I usually talk with them about their childhood, about how did they end up in here, and you can find. And I think it's a very fun. For me, it was very fun, and He's an interesting guy, and uh, I can only send you, if you enjoy game design and if you want to hear thoughts on game design, and all, if you can hear, if you can listen to it in podcast, you don't have to look at it. I think it's, these are more or less, you can call it podcast. Uh, let's play Age of Stam. We played Age of Steam Tristland. This is what, this one was one of the three-player maps in this in the fourth expansion for Age of Steam. I quite enjoyed this map. It felt good. It felt different. It felt very, like I said, interesting. Um, I, I cannot say good enough words about Age of Steam. This is a game everyone should try at least once. It's it's tight. It's sometimes it's mean. Um, and what can I say? I enjoy it. I'm not a step on your toes, I want to get in your face type of player. So I don't like playing four, five, six players Age of Steam. I am more of a, I'm good with three, maybe four maximum. So that's why we usually play 2-3. Also, it's for streaming purposes because it sometimes it would take a bit too much to be too long on certain games, um, and because we do all the reviews that we do at the end. So yeah, I can only highly recommend this one, and they're coming up with a fifth and sixth expansion, which I think it's right now in May, on the 20 something of May. I hope I'm not wrong. Um, cool. Lavage's team would always play. And then we played a Power Grid. We started the series also with Power Grid. This is so we are having what? So we have the Age of Steam series. We have the now we have also a Power Grid series. You can find more maps for Age of Steam that we did, um, and now and we have started one for Power Grid, and hopefully you will enjoy it. This is a fun game. Power Grid, I have always enjoyed Power Grid. I think it's better with at four. I think four a is the best for this game. This is the deluxe, and I cannot understand why did they do this deluxe and they did not do a lot of maps for it. It makes absolutely no sense. They did the recharged, and which was practically, they added some of the rules from the deluxe. I simply cannot understand why they did this one off and then just went and did other maps. Um, yeah, it is what it is. I do enjoy Power Grid. I do like Power Grid. I think it's one of the best games that was ever designed. It speaks for Friedman Fries as a great designer. I have to pick his brain. I hope I'll be able to get him for an interview. Um, yes, and then we did Power Grid Bremen, um, which is the map that came out in Essen this year. What can I say? It was a fun map. It was interesting. It was different. You do not have connections now. You pay this plus the cost of the of your um, piece of the yeah, the power generator. The cost of the in the city. It was tiny bit different. It was as there it is with these power grid maps. It adds it makes a bit of a refresh. It makes it fun in a way that you do not play a stale game. You do not play the same game every time. What can I say? Power Grid is in my top 100. I really enjoy it, and this map was different enough to make it fun. Um, if you like Power Grid, most likely you have it. If you don't like Power Grid, probably you will not even look at it. But I would recommend you play it. If you manage to, please, you should play Power Grid. Power Grid is a game that everyone should play. And the Bremen map is great. And then we did Brass Lancashire, which is my favorite brass. To be honest with you, I like this one more than I like um, Birmingham, because this is the first one. This is the tighter one. It's quite good. I really really enjoy it, and it was I think Dee played it second time or something like that, and she really really liked it. Um, so this is a classic. I think they're working on a new version, on a new map with a new game practically. You're having It's going to come into a different box, because I think it will have different industries, which will be a tiny bit different than this one, and it should come out, I think, this year on Kickstarter. So I I can't wait for it to come out, because yeah, more brass. We'll be playing the other one, um, because yeah, same rules, and yeah, I'm, it looks so good, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Having this map, um, it looks so good. The colors and everything. It's just a pretty game. There will be, and the cover is there will be brass. Yeah, it's Daniel Day Lewis from There Will Be Blood. Um, but it is what it is. So, and after that, we played Power Grid Outpost, a game that came out, which is Power Grid with the Outpost theme is in space. Power Grid in space is the same game, which is in space. It's not exactly the same game. It is a tiny bit different. It works a tiny bit in a different way than the original game does, because it has some cards that engine build, helps you to engine build. It has a tiny bit of an engine builder built there, and now you have your power grids, your power plants, and you have here you have your power plants, and you also have workers. Yeah, there are. I would like to see different types of workers that do different types of things. I think he can make a whole different system. And what it's interesting about this map is the fact that um, these the connection costs changes from game to game, because you will have these are not pre-printed. They come into the box, and then you place it at the beginning of the game. And yeah, he can make different maps with different connections, and practically he he went power grid. Let's take it to the right a tiny bit. I do like the player board, because now I don't have to count my power plants. I can see how many power plants I have here, and yeah, this is the main thing why I like it, because when you have 16 power plants built, you do not have, how many do I have built? One, two, three, four, five. Oh no, I have it here in front of me. I have 8 built. It's easier. I mean, it makes for an easier. And when you're streaming and you do a lot of things like I do, trying to also play the game and also stream and also see if the stream is fine and also maybe talk to somebody who's on chat. Um, it is a bit of an overload, and it's good to have some things made it easier for you in order to play the game. But also for players, just to speed up some things like not counting your power plants. Um. So yeah, I think it's yeah, I think it's really cool. And then you see, yeah, I have 8 here, I have 8 here, so I'm good. I don't need to. How many did I build? I built like that. How many did I have? And yeah, it's just easier. And the game is still fun, and the engine building that you do with these types of cards are is fun. It's fun. It's not a um, a hard write, let's say. It's divergent enough or different enough to warrant it, warrant having it and to play it. See outpost. Let's see what else did we do. We did some. Oh, we did. We started redoing our top tens. This is top 10 game boards. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll do so many more top tens. If you have ideas for top tens, please. And then we did Great Western Trail El Paso, which is one of our most viewed. As you can see, it has a lot of. Also, it has a lot of hours viewed. Um, because when you this usually happens when we play newer games. A lot of people, yeah, more. I mean, this one has 750 views. All other, well, I have around 100, so 7 more than we usually have. 100 to 200. This is usually what, yeah, we get on this smaller channel on older games, because we usually play older games. But when we play new games or unreleased games, what happened with SETI? Because I think the first one who did the play. I think Paul did from Gaming Rules. I think he did something before, but I was the first one to put a playthrough after Essen, and because of that, now it has over 2,000 views, which is a, yeah, big success for our smaller channel. Um, so, what, yeah, it would be cooler to get some more views on the older ones. Um, Highly recommend this one. You do not like it, Great Western Trail? I think this one fixes it for you. I like this one. I think it's very close with New Zealand. We will be playing Argentina soon, or in the next 2 months. I think it will be played, and this one, New Zealand, which you see behind me, I don't know if you can see it. New Zealand, I quite enjoyed it, but there were some things which I think it was, I don't know, maybe a bit too much. But New Zealand is by far better for me than the original one. Paul said to me I should skip Argentina. I'm gonna try to play it because, yeah, we have to. But I've heard, yeah. Plus, I've heard different stories on some love it, some don't. But this one, I think, if you do not like its weight, its length, its everything else, this is the game for you. I do. I probably an expansion will come out that will fix this one in a way that it will become more interesting. The train, I think it might be a viable strategy if you just use that train and do something with it. But what I do like in this game is the engine and the building, the deck building and the engine building with your workers. And I like getting workers and having them, because you get such a cool turn when you get workers out. uh I was surprised how much I have enjoyed it. I'd say, let's see. Well, I went into it very apprehensive, But I liked it. I liked it far more than um, I thought. And then we did, like I said, New Zealand. I won't talk a lot about New Zealand. A lot of people talked about it. I think it's good. I think it works well. Um, and I think it took the original Great Western Trail, the expansion, all the ideas from the expansion. They placed it on this board, but they did it in a different way. I do like what I like about this one is this track because it allows me to get to a certain spot that I don't need to pay other players for going through their buildings, which is the main hit thing that I hate about the original game. It makes for a forced interaction because it makes me okay, it's not like the game is not heavy enough. I also have to think where I place my buildings in order to get some squeeze some money from you, and then makes the other player think, okay, that if you did that, now I have to play this one here to get that money from you back, or to get before I give it to you. It's just something that is not, how should I put it? Not something that makes the game fun for me. What is fun for me is the deck building part, getting the new sheep, cows, whatever, cows, sheep, and placing, developing my board. This is what's the fun part about this game. Playing the cards and so on. So I usually, yeah, this is a game that I enjoy it with two players a lot. And yeah, this one fixes it for me. This is my favorite until now. I have to play Argentina to see how it is. So, fun, good, highly recommend it. You'll probably not want to play the base game anymore. Then we did a playthrough for Village Big Box. You can watch my thoughts here. I think we tried to stick to a half an hour, and I think we spoke more than a half an hour. I think around 40 minutes we spoke about this game. I love Village. Village is one of my favorite games. It's in my top 50 of all time. If this would have been the original production, I would have had nothing with it. But even though I think it missed the marks, even also in the production area. But I think it makes it, it it's for a certain audience, but I don't think it it keeps to the core of the original, to the heart of the original. Um, uh, I don't think they did they made it a bit too busy. They made it a bit too colorful, but they made it a bit too for the type of story that this game tells. Is it bad? No. In the end, if you can't find Village, the older version, buy this version, have fun with it, enjoy it. If you have the older version with both expansions, I don't think it warrants having this one. Hey, hola, V. I don't think it warrants. ¿Cómo estás? And there my Spanish ends. I think it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think the marriage expansion alone warrants buying the big box if you have the original with both expansions. Um, but I do hope at some point it will come out in a different variant with this expansion. So then we did a top 10 card games. Then we played Great Western Trail, because why not? You can yes, you will find my thoughts in here. I do not. I told you I enjoy the original. I don't think there's a lot of people with us, V. So if you're staying with me, thank you. I was trying to kill some time in order for yeah, maybe some people will come out and have a bit of a chat, a bit of a discussion, because we were supposed to do a playthrough tonight, but Radu had some issues and he was not able to do it. So I say I came home. I slept for a little while, and D is in the chat. Yeah, she's somewhere over there. Oh, Andre! Whoa, such a long time. Haven't seen you for a while. Uh, you Where are you, Andre? Yeah. So, Great Western Trail. I think it's a very good game, but I do not like that part of of the yeah, placing buildings in front of other players. Then we did the Obsession. Obsession is in my top 50 of all time. I quite enjoy it. I think you can. There are a lot of variants. Work. That's cool. There are a lot of variants for it, and I do think that every expansion that comes out makes it a tiny bit better, a tiny bit better, a tiny bit better, a tiny more. Ah, you're in a hotel, huh? In Cluj-Napoca. Cool. And you're drunk with work. Um, probably your wife does not watch this, so I think it's very thematic. It's a very fun game to play. If you role play a bit, you make it a tiny bit better. I do think it needs. I've done a variant for it to make it a bit shorter, and I think it's still satisfying. I do think it needs those variants. Whoa, she was studying in Cluj back in the 90s? Oh, so she knows Romanian, dude. That's cool. Um, so yeah, she's not your current wife, right? V. Yes. So highly, I can only recommend Obsession, and every expansion that you add makes it better and better. At least, at least upstairs, downstairs. Manhattan Project Energy Empire, a new version will come out. We'll have this version in autumn at Essen, and we'll do a playthrough of that one. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It's fun. I never had a bad. I like the original Solo a lot. Oh, she was left. When you went to the US, right? And yeah, as I was saying, I only have good thoughts about this game. I wanted to try the expansion. I hope I'll get the opportunity to get the expansion and play it. And also the newer version will have it, and yeah, speak about it. I think it's one of the best worker placement games that exists on this planet, and it still is 10 years later. Then we did a top 10 worker placement games. Hey, this is one again. It's one of our yeah. People like worker placement. Seems to me. So Steam Power, another map of Steam Power. We did Steel Belt with 3 players. Very enjoyable. Like Steam Power. It's easier, but yeah. Uh, if you like train games, this is a different flavor to the original Age of Steam, yeah, formula. Um, the I think it should get faster to people to play. I think we were lucky to get that review copy in Essen to have it and play it on the channel. Also, it was played at the festival. Then we did something. Oh, I skipped something. Um, We did the chillaxing part worker placement, and then we also did Rails of Western US. I think this is the penultimate map that we have not done. Uh, no, I don't think that way. Uh, Probably that's why people enjoy worker placement. I enjoy it because I think it's easier to do theme on a worker placement game. It's a work you it's easy to understand. You have a worker that needs to work, and I send them to a place to work. I think it's usually worker placement games are the most thematic ones. I think the hardest one to explain are the dice placement ones, which is, yeah, your workers are dice and you place different values and so on and so forth. Yeah. So railways of Western US, highly enjoyable, highly enjoyable. Um, I can't say enough how much I enjoy this game. Um, this is I'm Kosti from Board Game Pixels managed to get me a copy of this one. I didn't have it, and we played it on stream. And as far as I know, in summer we'll have some new maps, and hopefully we're going to get it for Kickstarter. And yeah, and we're gonna have some fun before the Kickstarter will come out. Yes. So railways, steam power, as I said. Then Isle of Skye, big box. This year, Lookout Games are they're 25 years. They made their anniversary is their anniversary. 25 years. They reached 25, which is um, I have not played this one. I don't know. Barbarians the Invasion. I have not played that one. Speaking of but this is not worker. This is a tile layer. It's one cool game. I like it a lot. It's fun. We will be playing with the expansion at some point. But together with Lookout, we are celebrating their 25th anniversary, and we'll be playing a lot of their games during the year. So this was, I think, it's not exactly the first one we've played from Lookout, but this is one of the best tile layer games that are out there. I enjoy it a lot. I enjoyed it far more. It's far more interesting for me than Carcassonne is. I don't. I'm not a big fan of Carcassonne, as a lot of people usually are, but people are. But yeah, this one I like a lot. I'll try to go. Because there are a few more. Then we played Welcome to Walnut Grove, and this one we've played wrong. So we did something wrong on this one, and I have to apologize for it. When I went, I browsed through the rules because I played this game so many times, but when I did a refresh, I forgot that you can only produce as many tiles as you have in here, not as many squares as you have. This is the way we played. So, for example, here I have 3 tiles of grain. I will produce 3 grains here if I send the worker. But if I've had 4, then would have been able to produce 4, but I needed 4 tiles, not squares. And that made, for example, in here I could have only produced. Now I will produce 6 because I sent my worker here. No, I am only to produce 2. I'm only able to produce 2. That's the max. That's all that I can produce, and that made the game a tiny bit easier for us. And we have to replay this one because we need it to be the way it was intended by the designer. It made the game a tiny bit easier. And while I was playing, I was thinking, man, I remember that it was harder to produce. It's something wrong here. This was while I was playing, I was thinking, and somebody in the comments pointed that you made this a tiny bit easier. So then I thought, oh no, I'm such an idiot. I made this easier. So We have to replay it at some point. With the rest, we got it right. But this one, which is part of the core, which makes the game far more unforgiving than it was, and far more interesting than it really was. Um, yeah, I have to play it again because of that. But I'm sorry for the mistake that we did. We're gonna repair this with another playthrough. This is a great game. I love it to pieces, and I am so I don't understand why this game didn't get the recognition that it deserved. Uh, Year Pioneers is we have finally we have played this game a year ago. We have give it the props that it needs. We've played with the expansion, with every module in the expansion. Hopefully, uh, it got. I think it got more attention, and I know it has been featured on a bigger channel on the Heavy Cardboard's channel, and I am happy. It they did a playthrough for it, because this one needs more coverage. I think it's a great little game that needs more attention. It's a good worker placement game. It's a good engine builder. It works well. It's fast. It's smart. Highly recommended, and the expansion makes it a ton better. Then this is the top 10 worker movement games. We did that too. Then we did the Scepter of Zavandor. By the way, V, did you play Scepter of Zavandor? Did it get to you? Did you buy it in the end? This is an older design that it was revamped that looks really good. It has great pieces and it plays well. It has a lot of good things going for it. But it's a game that I recommend with more than two. I think it's better with 3 or 4 players. I think it's better with 3 or 4. I have sped it up with a small variant that practically speeds up the first round of the game, which makes it, in my opinion, a tiny bit better. And I think designers, I think when you bring up the German Coal game. Oh, Haspelnecht. Oh yeah, Haspelnecht. That's cool. I do think designers, when you bring back a game these days, people don't take out parts which are not necessarily interesting. I don't think people enjoy these days stale rounds. The first 2 3 rounds, they understood it with Terraforming Mars, and they came out with Prelude. They understood it with Underwater Cities, which cuts out the round. So try to make it a tiny bit. It's not interesting to play a full round and get a resource. The only thing that you do, you get a resource. It's not interesting. Give him 1 or 2 3 resources to start with, and then send him into the all the things that it does, because it's like I said, it's not the sped up variant that I did is take another worker, get some more cards, and take, I don't know, 10 15 minutes from 20 minutes from the game, which were not necessarily fun. 15 minutes to 15 20 minutes, they're not crucial, I think, for the game. But I quite enjoyed this one, but it needs more players to really shine. Then I did the interview with Reinhard Knizia, which, yeah, Reinhard Knizia, it's quite fun. So this is Haspelnecht, right? This is the one that you bought. If you can find the expansion, highly recommend you buy the expansion for this one. I like it. It's good. If you enjoy these types of themes, and if you enjoy good games, I think it's very good. I think it warrants playing it. I think it's fun. I think it's, you'll see all the review. It works well with 2 players. I think it's also cool with 3. I think it might be even a tiny bit better with 3 players because you'll get more things to choose from. Um, and there is a thing which I missed on this one. Oh, oh, so you bought it with the expansion, $50 shipped? You got a good deal, dude. Got a good deal. Yeah, play it with the 4 years, play it full. It's really really cool. Highly recommend this one. Even if it is an older design, and I do like, yeah, I do like what Tomasz Pitzer does. I think it's a very he's a underrated designer in my opinion, and um yeah, he refused to do an interview with me because he said, "Oh, I'm gonna like all design. Sometimes design that like designers usually do. They think that they don't speak well English, but I've spoken with him at Essen. I think he speaks fine English. He does really cool games. Now, this is Luna. Um, this is one of my favorite Stefan Felds. It's here is, well, I hope you saw it. Uh, it's so much fun to come here and just snatch and displace people and be a little mean around here. I think it also looks good. I think it plays well. I think it's yeah, fast. It's thinky. What can you do with 2 pages of rules? Hopefully it will get a reprint the way it is. Do not change anything. Do not change anything. Okay. Tricarian. It was on, I don't know, it was on Kickstarter. I don't know if you have this game. Um, Also did I have did a small variant that speeds up the first one more round. And I do enjoy this game. There are some things which I do not like about the production of it. I think it could have been made a lot better. Um, a way to see if I like a game or not. Monk's Retreat. I don't know what's Monk's Retreat with Lazy River. Yeah. Yeah, you can see if I like a game if I sleeve the cards or not. When I sleeve cards, I usually like that game a lot. So I'm a big fan of Tricarian. There are some things which I do not enjoy about the production, and I've spoken about it. Here we do not try to sugarcoat things. I hope people will understand that, and I hope people um, will appreciate that. Um, we try to think of your pocket in a way. So yeah. So, but this is a game I thoroughly enjoy, and I think the fun part is placing all those tricks in here. Yeah, the theme is no, you won't feel you're doing tricks, but it does it's so much fun when you align symbols on these ones and it looks good and it puts a word in front of you. If you haven't played Tricarian, I highly recommend you to. So we did top 10 expansions because Marcus asked for it, and yes, we do things for our patrons. Uh, if other patrons have wishes, please. And this is Yunnan. I put off to play this game for such a long time. Because it had an automa, and I didn't want to learn an automa for 2 players, to be honest with you. I do not like that, and I said I'm going to play a 3-player. I'm going to play a 3-player. I'm going to play a 3, and I did not get to it. And 1 year and some time passed. And in the end, I said we have to do this game, and I learned I learned the two player, I learned the automa, and finally played it in order to teach it to Radu. Play with Radu. I think it's better with three players than it is with three, four, or five players than it is with two players with an automa. Uh, this is if you like Euro games, if you like older type, if you like fine interaction, if you like what other players are doing, I can't recommend it enough. It's a very good game, and if you find the older version at a reasonable price, get the older version, because the older version works well also. You can apply some the small changes that they were done here. They're easily applicable. Very easy to apply. Very easy to apply. Um, so quite fun, quite fun. And the last playthrough that we did is the one for Pest. This is another game that I have enjoyed, but it felt like a game that I'm playing a bit for points, for scoring points, for building buildings and scoring points. The theme did not really came through, and we wanted a bit more of that theme coming out. Um, to be honest with you, but I have thoroughly enjoyed the game itself. That's why I said that I'm willing to try it with the expansion and see if it changes some of my views. Maybe it brings a bit more theme to it about the past, not only a game that I move from here to there and then build buildings. There are some production things that apparently have been addressed. Via have watched what they did in the with the new Kickstarter, and there are a lot of things that they've added and changed, but you need to get the Kickstarter and you need to get all the bells and whistles. I think it might add enough theme with all those things to warrant having it, because the gameplay is fun. I mean, I have thoroughly enjoyed it. These things here. Um, oh, okay. Oh, that's I. Oh, they'll postpone print. Whoa, this is kind of not cool. But if if their major audience is from the US, you kind of have to understand them, because what happens now with the tariffs is just, it's just crazy. I think Jamie Stegmaier said that for $10 that they pay in printing, they need to pay $14 for tax. So $24. It's just let's say the bare minimum of a game. So $24 is just the base price. Don't When you start adding shipping costs and you start adding Polish version. But yeah, I think they probably oh that but everything is tied in, I think, right now. For now, I think it's tied in because probably they canceled the Polish version, canceled it because I think their main audience is in the US, and when they stop there, they cannot print only for Polish or only for uh, most likely. Yeah, yeah. What Donald Trump did was absolutely stupid. I think it's immensely stupid. But as I said, I have enjoyed this one. I think it's interesting. Um, I think it's interesting. I think it misses the mark because I think they had a bit of my issue with this one is the fact that it feels like it misses a trick in a way that in 1984 also misses a trick. You have a chance to implement a theme that is different, that can take you somewhere else, and in the end you just end up playing a Euro game, a very good Euro game in this case, but just a Euro game, and there are plenty Euro games out there. So yeah, I think this is where they missed the trick, and it needs a tiny bit more theme. and it needs a, hopefully, I don't know how it is the second edition. I don't know if it has all the bells and whistles necessary to bring that theme alive. Other than that, I think it's a fine game, and it does have some cool mechanism. Um, yeah, but it's just what's the difference of having those green people and cubes? It's kind of the same thing. I mean, I'm not feeling the harshness of curing. I'm not feeling um, the what I should be doing in there. Also, the why am I building a bank? I mean, why is it everything destroyed? Everything, and I need to build, yeah, farms. That can be interesting. But banks and some other stuff, yeah, doesn't really make sense. This is what it's not that I dislike the game. I don't think it's a bad game at all. I think it's quite good. The game itself, it's quite good. It's quite fun, and it's quite restrictive. The grid one, I think there are other worker placement that allows you to take two actions, and you have to. I think there are, and I'd have to think about it, but I think I'm gonna find it at some point. But I agree with you. It's fun. The game itself is fun, but the it misses a trick somewhere, and at the end of the day, when you choose a game, is having hundreds, having hundreds. Um, which one do you choose? The one that manages to make you feel more, or the one that manages to make you feel less? With the same the same type of good game underneath, because this has a good game underneath, and it's a it's a pretty game in a way. It looks good. With I have some issues with it, and I think it shows some of the fact that you have different artists and different graphic designers and so on. Yeah, so this was past. You can see all, and now we're doing this one. So let's go back to me. This was a recap of all the things. Oh, it took a while, but yeah. And now we can speak more freely, as I say, about different things. And one could be, yeah. Unfortunately, what happens now in the U.S. is what we're trying to is put an extremist in power, and when you do that, this is what happens. So yeah, and you cannot. So as paying $24, yes, just to produce a game, add shipping, add VAT, or all other taxes, add what the company, what the printing company, or not the printing, um, the the publisher wants to make, add what the store want to make, and in the end you're gonna end up with crazy prices, and in the end, who are you taxing? You're taxing your own people. You're taxing your own persons, your own yeah, your own people, and uh, if they're producing it, you're not taxing China. China is making the money. No, you're not. You're taxing people. So yeah, it's kind of dumb, and the industry is right now is I think it's almost at the uh, at a stop point. I mean, everything is just we're gonna. I think some companies. That's what he thinks. I don't think he's doing the right thing for USA. Uh, you cannot bring manufacturing. It's you see, I don't think he's doing it because um, you cannot bring manufacturing back to the US. You don't have, and you could do that if you have a plan. Yeah, have a plan if you want to really want to do that. Um, do you know how much it will cost you to bring production to US? Do you know a lot of people who are willing to work? Do you know a lot of people willing to work in a factory to do what the most of Chinese people do? I don't think the US citizens want that. They want it, and you know what you're going to do? If you bring manufacturing, but you will need to import workers then from China and from someone else who will want to do that work, because I assure you that most of the people from the American people, I don't know if they'll want to do that. But on the other hand, this is a process that needs to be done in years. You cannot say, yeah, we're going to tax China and for I don't know how much it taxes, and then China imposes also, but you do not have the know-how to bring manufacturing in the US right now. This is a process that will take 5, 10 years, 15 years. Imagine that the factories in China have been printing and they have the know-how for 10, 15 years now, and they have all the things that they need to produce a top tier product. If you want to build a factory, it will take time. You need to bring equipment. Where do you bring that equipment from? Think China. So you'll need to buy those. You need to have the workers. You need to have the skilled workers. How, in order, you need to make them skilled. This is a process that will take time. It cannot happen uh, in a second. That will not happen in 1 year, 2 years. It will take 5, 10, maybe 15 years to go to the same level. So you're behind already. It's dumb. Okay, give incentives to people to bring. Okay, if you're bringing manufacturing here, we're going to help you. You're US, everything is tied to the dollar. So you can, when the US says, "Oh, you have this debt, this debt in dollars." Well, if everything is tied to the dollar, you do not really have a debt, um, one way or another. So, but but find the American economy can subsidize, can help bring manufacturing back to the US, can bring, but I don't know if they really want to do this. I think I don't know. I don't see it. But again, you want an American factory, create a US factory um, in a place where you do not have jobs anymore, because there are a lot of places in the US. And I have seen, because I have always wanted to come and visit US on my motorcycle. I wanted to go north to south. I want to go the Woody Guthrie route. I want to, yeah. I I've seen I've seen a lot of documentaries and so on and so forth. I'm really fascinated uh, about about U.S. culture and so on. Um, and I would want again to see it. Um, and because of that, I have watched a lot of documentaries, and I still watch documentaries about. There are certain people that I follow that do good, unedited, and not showing certain things, showing the real part, the real U.S. real people, and there are very poor in the in many parts of the U.S. You have poorer regions where things have gone away. At some point, they were successful, but then they went away. Mining and so on and so forth. That people still live there, and they would need jobs, and probably it will be cheaper with workers from there. But you do need to give subsidies, like in Europe happens with agriculture. You need to put in front a plan to help a manufacturer or someone who wants to manufacture in the US. Um, uh, uh, so put a plan that would help him to develop for 10, 15 years, and then you could probably bring. But also, I don't know if you'll be able to to be competitive with China in price. I don't know if you'll be able to do that. It's just right now. I don't know. Maybe I don't. But go doing the tariffs as Trump does right now. I think it's bad for everyone. Nobody wins in this one. And manufacturing does not come in here in what did he do? He put a tax on I think on steel and aluminium, because yeah, this is what it's called, aluminium. And I think he took it out, right? These days, I think he took that tax out, the tariffs out. I read that somewhere. He put some tariff. He creates chaos. He has no idea what economy is. Yeah, you want to create jobs. You want to create that. That's normal. But we live in an economy that is a global economy that is very well tied in together. And what you'll end up doing with this kind of mentality is make everyone think I should produce everything here, I should produce everything here, I should produce everything here, and that's just impossible. Um, it will make everything far more expensive for everyone in the end. Yeah, sure, produce some things. You can produce some things. I mean, you can get out of the laziness of having everything imported, but I think it's smarter to find a better balance. Because I don't know, it's bad for you, because you say, oh, we're gonna force Volkswagen to have a factory here. I also think they have a factory somewhere in the US, but they cannot produce everything in the US. It's just impossible, probably economically unfeasible. So how is it possible for, think of this, how can all the Taiwanese and build factories for building semiconductors for computer stuff? How you'll be able to all the car companies build their, how much time do you think it takes for everything to be built in the US? And just think how expensive everything will be in the end, because nobody will be able to do it. And so let's say, if everybody does it, it will take a long time. If nobody, someone says it just becomes unfeasible to go to the US, build there, and so on, you'll be left with everything that produces in the US. If you're left with everything that's produced in the US, you'll be left with fewer options. You'll be left with fewer options. That means those options will be more expensive, because there is no more. There's no one else in the market to bring prices down. So it's just not smart. What he does, it's just dumb. So it's easy to say, yeah, bring everything in, but I don't think it's possible. And you cannot do that. You cannot make all the board game companies say, you produce here. But right now, I have a stock, or I have, like Arcona has. Arcona has a game, and Arcona relies on printing that game, sending it to its backers to have to have the good renown to make the next game, to move on, and yeah, and just go forward. Um, so you end up killing businesses. Uh, well, I don't think. Well, it is big. It's not exactly the biggest. I think. Yeah, it is big. It's a big market to sell, but think that everything also it's a big market. Yes, it is. But I don't know. I'll have to. I don't have the numbers, and I'll have to see. Let's say how much Volkswagen sells in the U.S. and how much it sells in. I'll just look at it very fast. Uh, yes, the U.S. is a big market, but let's see reports something. I don't know. Q, but I don't know if it's. Yeah, it will probably take. So Volkswagen delivers around 4.8 million, but I don't know. Let's see percentile. So for example, delivery figures for the regions around the world for Volkswagen. Yes, it says Europe. It's 1 million. In Europe, Volkswagen sells 1,254,500 vehicles. In North America, it sells 592,000. So less than half. But they still want to sell. So it's not the biggest market, the US, for Volkswagen. In China, it sells 200,000 deliveries. Yeah, the board game industry, it is, the U.S. board game industry. It is one of the biggest. That is true because what Arcona Games does, for example, is they make a bigger game with a bigger theme, which suits that market. They made it for that market, but even if they would have wanted to produce, if he produced in America, then are you willing to pay, instead of what you paid for it, are you willing to pay almost double? Because this is what you are going to pay if you don't produce in China, or at least 50 to 70% more expensive if you produce in the US. It's economics. It's as simple as that. So you're right. Yes, you should. Yeah, okay. Bring manufacturing to US, produce for, I don't know, somewhere, be competitive with China, and then it's going to be interesting for a producer to produce in the US. But otherwise, it's just impossible. It's not feasible because you, the consumer, the largest, you in the end will not end up paying for that product. You will not want to pay, instead of $100, let's say, you will not want to pay 150, because this is what Donald Trump asks from you. He wants to get richer. He wants all his buddies to get richer, but you will get poorer. In the end, you'll be paying all the taxes. You'll be paying for everything. You as a consumer will be doing that. And what do you prefer? Yeah, it's okay. You bring manufacturing there, but are you willing to pay the price for that? This is the question. Yeah, Kickstarter, of course. You in the board game industry, yeah, you're right. But take other, because I was looking at what happens in the computer industry right now. Everything is produced China, Taiwan, and I was looking. There is certain things that I follow and I watch in the computer industry, um, uh, and if you look closely there, you will see that it's just, I think Intel produces some of the things in the US and it builds some of the, but I don't know if it produces in the US or in China or Taiwan. They tried to build a factory to build inside, and in the end they started producing in Taiwan because the technology was, yeah, it's just better. But everything's produced China, Taiwan, and it's just not feasible to produce in the US at the moment, and probably not in the future if you don't find subsidies, or I don't know, you make it plastic or something. But it's impossible to make everything plastic to make a computer case. And there was, I saw a documentary about how much it costs to create a case, for example, and how much it costs that case right now. In order to sell it to you at a normal price, he would be losing. That company, I think, would have lost $100 in order to send it to you, which made it unfeasible. So he stops sending to the US and he sends to the other markets for now. It says, I'm holding it. I'm right now, I'm not shipping, because they pay tax for the product itself, and then they pay tax for what's inside it. It's easy to say, yeah, let's bring manufacturing here. It's hard to do in a second, in a year, in 2, in 10 years. And I think here is where this dude gets it absolutely wrong. And for board games, is a bit different, because the US, I think, is the biggest market for board games, because the US developed its board gaming the most after the Second World War, far more than Germany in a way. But also Europe is also a bigger market, but probably not as big as the US. And the US are, yeah, a lot of, I think this is more for Euro games. US is more for more fantasy themes, and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's a big market. US is a big market. But again, it's hard economically to produce that many copies and so on with that cost. It's just hard. It's a mathematical thing. So you should think that if you are willing to pay, again, 50 to 70% more to have a product, that you could get it for 50-70% less. And how are you? I was speaking to producers, to people, to publishers that I know, and I asked them, because in Europe you can print. You have some printers here in Germany, in Poland, in Czech Republic, and they say, even with shipping and the cost of shipping that went through the roof after COVID, it's still cheaper than having it in here. That's what I said. It is a long game, but it's not the way you start the long game. You do not impose tariff. What did China do? This is important, because no, it will not change things in 20 years. Or I don't know if you're willing to pay that price, because that price is a lot of small businesses disappear, and only bigger companies will come out, or will go on, will survive because they have the money, and those smaller companies will be absorbed by bigger companies, and it's a bigger monopoly, and it will be worse for what America is about, which is have the smaller business that you can grow. You're killing the small business owner. He cannot survive this. Yeah, the bigger ones who have a lot of money, they will probably make more money, because in the end, the producer will not lose. You're going to pay for it. Well, that's a whole different thing. If you're fine to get 3 4 big games per year, that's fine. But you have to think not only from your own perspective. You have to think that we have different perspectives, and we should not kill the small business. That's the idea. We should not kill the small business. And what he does right now, he gives more to the rich and takes from. It creates. Uh, no, I don't think that's smart. Nope. Small producer needs to live too. Then you'll create rich and poor. And what America was built upon was the middle class. And uh, it should be everywhere in the world. The middle class should be the backbone of every economy. Um, so, but then again, because I was thinking of something, um, about the long game. Yeah, what did China do? Did they say did they played the long game in a very smart way? We're going to bring you here. We're gonna give you small. We're gonna give you a lot of incentives, small taxes. Come here, produce here. It will be the long game, years, 20, 30 years. And it's been 20, 30 years. Uh, Everybody started to produce in China 30 years ago. And they got the know how slowly, slowly. And this is how they become. Yeah, Donald Trump wants to do that. Help the smaller business, give him subsidies, give him access to a way to do, and help him be competitive um, with the Chinese producer, because it's a competition. Because as much as the US wants to think that it's the biggest, it's not the only market. Nope. No, they won't. Because small games like Carcassonne, no, I don't think that will happen. It doesn't matter if a game is small or big. A game is good or is not good. A game is played by a lot of people or it's not played by other people. Tastes are different. So it's not. Better ideas come from competition. That's what drives the world. That's what makes it better. Competition. And this is what should be. So make yourself competitive with. Don't think you're the biggest, the strongest, and then want to shoot everybody else. I'm gonna take Greenland because I think I can. That's not the way things are done these days. We're not in the 1800s. So do what, I don't know how, but help the small producer there and incentivize him to build in the US. Help him do that. Um, uh, Probably, yeah. Make some tax cuts. Probably the rich should pay some more taxes. Probably. there are a lot of things which are, yeah, you can see a lot. I mean, I've watched how I'm good. How, I mean, Elon Musk is the poorest man on the world, and yet he's the richest man on the world because he plays the system. And yeah, in the US, in we pay, I don't know, 40%, or what happens in the northern countries, but you get something out of it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things you can do, and not just play the dictator and say you have to do this because I want to, because I'm Donald Trump and I'm the president of the U.S. No, people will find in the end will find ways to circumvent that. It's just uh, it's just um, isolating yourself, and because you think you're the greatest, will in the end be your downfall. It happened in history throughout. It's what the USSR. It's take USSR for example, who said we're going to produce everything here. We're going to make everything here. We're going to create. And what did they create? What cars were created in Western Europe? Um, I don't think it's what the majority of the USA wants. I V, if you ask that majority of the USA where to name a country in Europe, they'll say Paris. Name a country in Europe, and they'll say Paris. Yes. So it's easy to say that. That's what the majority wants. I think what he does now will hit that majority most. What it's exactly what happened with the UK, where they say we want out of the EU. We want out of the EU. The EU is the the farmers. Yeah, bring back farming here. We're going to make them here. We do not want workers from Eastern Europe. We bring back English jobs. This is what it was. What UK did, and they got out of Europe, and then they started begging for the Eastern European to come back to work for them, because guess what? The British people did not want to work in agriculture, in farms. Most of them did not wanted those jobs, and the subsidies are going out the window because they are out of the EU, and everything is going from bad to worst. This is what happens when you want to isolate and you think we have been Great Britain, the greatest empire in the world. You're just a few islands there right now. Yeah, they have been the financial capital of the world. London, it has been there, but since they got out, I don't know where it moved, but it moved. Most likely, it moved. I don't think it is anymore. And people are, and now they're regretting. If you go, I've watched again lots of documentaries done by Deutsche Welle, and yeah, yeah, and people are right now, those people who voted to leave right now, they said, yeah, we were duped. We were duped. This is this is the world. This is what the majority. No, I don't think. I sincerely do not think that people know what they want. Nope, they do not. And most of the people want someone to be in charge. And you know, our old father Lenin to tell us what to do, our old father Stalin to tell us what to do. But with that comes a price. And the price is too big. But I, I think the world will live for millions of years if it will after us, with people being more or less the same, wanting someone to follow and not think with their own brain. And this is what it is. We just have to this is a thing which I struggled with for a long, long time, but this is the world that we live in. Why would you want why would you want to someone to tell you something? Why don't you want to think with your own head? And I don't understand it, but yeah, this is how influencing works. And this is how, yeah, how it, they don't know what they want, and that's why they're easily duped. They see someone on Instagram, wow, that is beautiful, and then they get there, and it's not like in the pictures. Of course it isn't. Well, this is what it is. But let's go to greener pastures. As I was saying. So yeah, we should. I strongly think that we all should think for ourselves what we want, and but if not, choose someone who choose who you are following. This is very important. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, uh, I'm. How should I put it? Uh, I have a very rock mentality. uh, I tell them as they are, and I try to I try the reason why I chose to do what I do the way that I do is because I try to honestly help people, and I know that cannot be for everyone, and but I do hope that there are more like me who enjoy and understand and would come to me, to what I do. Yeah. I do the thing that I do not like is to be a monkey and play by someone else's rules. In the end, it's all about, yeah, if I can do it, I can. If I cannot do it anymore, I'll just, I'll have to stop. But I think it's important in this world to have morals. I think it's important to have principles. Uh, I hope it's principles. I hope I'm. Let's find it. Let's find the translations. Yeah, principles. I said it right. Um, I can't stay away from. Well, religion is everybody can have his own religion. I don't try to impose anyone my views. Usually I don't try to impose anyone anything, and I don't think it's smart to do that. Also, politics. What is politics? Everything is politics, in my opinion. Even in, I can tell you that in film is politics. I can tell you that in Formula One is politics, and in board gaming can also be politics. So everything is politics. What I also don't try to do is, in the end, um, I think there are certain truths, but I mean, there's obvious truths, and but there can be, because yeah, if we can have opposing views. I mean, someone can be a socialist and someone can be a liberal, and it's just the way you approach things. And I have my some of my liberal views and some of my socialist views, because I come from a Eastern European. But I do think we can discuss. I'm not trying to. If you can have a logical discussion, if you don't take it into I don't know, uh, to something else, then it's better not to get into things like that. But avoiding things, I don't think it's also smart. Not speaking about things, not speaking about the fact that, yeah, you can destroy with the way the politics can be in the world right now is, yeah, you can destroy freedom of speech, and so on and so forth. That's true. That is true. It can turn away viewers, other viewers. Well, V, right now it's just you and me, and a few more others would just come by. uh, and I do think it's smarter to have. I again, I'm not imposing my views on anyone. I'm not trying to. I just try. I like stirring up a conversation. I like ideas. I'm a big fan of ideas. Um, and I like to discuss ideas. And I don't want to make this. No, now let's be honest. I do not want to make a political forum. I don't like that. On the other hand, let's say what happens right now in Romania, our country might end up in something that we do not want to end up. And then you have to speak up. At certain points in life, I think it's very important to speak up. And it's very important to take a stand, because all I can tell you is, and I read 50, 100 pages of Gulag Archipelago from Alexander Solzhenitsyn. 100 pages read. And you can see what happens when you do not speak up. When you just try uh, to just move along and wait, maybe things will not happen to you. Then it can. I come from an ex-communist country. I know what communism was. I know what not having freedom of speech was. I know what how hard it was for my parents to. My father was in military, for example, and he was. Uh, uh, um, um, so my father was in the military. He was not, so he had to have had uh, a double view. At home he was, but also at home he had to be careful. You did not know if they would bug your phone. You did not know who was following you. I mean, Orwell was a genius. Orwell was a genius. It's exactly what happened. Or yeah, watch Das Leben der Anderen to see what it was to live in a communist country. That's a German film from 10 years ago. I don't know, even more. 15, I think. 15, something like that. 16 years ago. even longer. I think it's a great film. It's a great film. No, I'm not, I was not saying it to you. Um, I say to anyone who might think that limiting freedom of speech is a good thing. Watch how watch how Hitler came to power and how fast you end up. Yeah, yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying you know and you understand what I'm talking about, but someone else might not. Exactly. You know these things, but a lot of people do not know it, and we know it firsthand. We know what yeah killing freedom of speech is, and why it shouldn't happen, and why yeah the values that the U.S. had should be kept, and why autocratic leaders like Trump is right now is not good for the whole world, because then you end up in the bed with the Russians, for example, and Putin becomes a great leader and not a war criminal, for example. Which yeah, I'm not. I mean, that's what the tribunals say. I'm not saying that. The tribunals are saying. Yes, because he promised everything. And it's easy to promise everything when Germany came out of after the First World War the way they came out. And and let's not forget what Prussia was, what the uh, Austrian Empire meant, and finding yourself the way the Germany found itself after the First World War. It was a ego hit, and there were yeah. You have to look through. I don't know how many people have read this history. I don't know how many people know about this history. And in the end, how awful was the First World War, which I think had the most casualties in all wars, and how awful was the second one when it comes to casualties and um, proper cities destroyed, uh, uh, architectural monuments destroyed, and yeah, so on and so forth. And how easy we can go back to it. And that's why I say we should always talk about these things and not hide it. Yeah, and this is why I think it's important that games can touch on these subjects of wars, politics, yeah, yeah, this one, world order. You can see how you influence parts of the world, and is it good to do that? Is not good? Is it moral? Unmoral? Um, and that's why I talk a lot about theme and implementation of a theme to try to do a special game that yeah also asks questions. You have to yeah I have to say this. I am in a way a serious what it's called a serious gamer. um I like serious themes. I like, for me, games are just more than okay, let's just have some fun. Let's just have some yeah, play some King of Tokyo. And I'm not saying that people who are playing Kings of Tokyo are not gamers or things like that. No, you play what you like. Play, everybody should play what they like. But for me, fun is, and this is the way I approach reviewing. This is the way I approach my favorite games. I come from a very serious, if you want, uh, background, and yeah, games can also do that. And this is why I try to talk also of serious issues if I can get the chance, and I get a someone to bounce ideas from. Uh, yeah, and also people can see who I am, and the fact that I'm not hiding. I am not someone else. I have never been someone else. I I don't hide it, and I think this is a thing that being I don't know how should I put it. Um, yeah, I also don't try to like I said, try to judge someone who does not enjoy heavy games. No, this is what you like. This is what you play. This is what makes you tick. This is what I like heavy games, and I take my approach the way I take my approach. I don't know why uh, people think that uh, heavier or maybe some heavier gamers do look down on gamers who like I don't know easier games. I don't do that. But sometimes I feel like if I'm saying that I don't enjoy lighter games, usually I don't enjoy lighter games. I prefer heavier ones, and this is the games that make me tick. Is a it's like I'm looking down on, and I don't feel that those games weren't my time. Uh, is They take it like I'm looking down on them, which is not a thing that I do. I Yeah. Uh, Still there, V? Hope I did not lose you. Yes, I think I've been here for a while. Oh, 2 hours, man. Here it shows. Been here for 2 hours. Um, and yeah. Not an issue. I'm gonna end it here. Also, you go listen to your family. They're most likely very interested in showing you what they have learned, and you probably are very interested in listening to them. Yeah, I like. Yeah, I hope it was fun for me. And and yeah, I'll probably do some more of these. I don't know why it took me so long to do the one of these, but I think this is a way that people that want to come and can see who I am, what I know, and yeah, spend some time with me outside the classical the things that we do exactly for gaming. Thank you, V, for being with me and making my time way more fun than just speaking on my own. Thank you for being with us, and I will end it here. Have fun with the family, V, and hopefully we'll see you on our next playthroughs. Thank you very much again. As always, I will thank. Hopefully, Andrei, you went to sleep and you, you have a good night. The You didn't go, uh, and you'll be fresh for tomorrow to work. And thank you for coming. And as always, I want to thank anyone who came and watched live. I'll thank anyone who will come and watch after the fact. If you like what you see, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Wait 1 second. smash that subscribe button. Mr. Monkey is here to tell you that. If you think you can help us on Patreon and support us on Patreon, we will thank you very, very much. If you have a buck or two to spend with us, yeah, it helps a bit, help paying a bit of the lighting and so on. And thank my patrons, of course. Until next time, what it says there. Play a lot, play loads, as you Brits say. Have fun. And bye bye, fine folks. Wherever in the world you are. Smash it.